Record to go. All right. Well, I am so grateful to be doing another renters rights workshop. I am Taylor from LGBTQ Allyship, and we are recording this so that we can share it also on our YouTube. I am the Program and Development Manager at LGBTQ Allyship, and I am joined here with Jesse Guicha. Said that right? Great. They are a paralegal and legal service manager at Q Law Foundation of Washington. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. We are here to discuss your rights as renters and update you on eviction moratorium, and we will be answering questions you might have around the end of the Seattle and other areas of King County eviction moratorium, along with what it means to be negotiating with your landlord or actively seeking rental assistance, funding throughout Washington and specifically King County. As a reminder, LGBTQ Allyship builds power among LGBTQ communities and its allies throughout Washington towards economic, housing, and racial and gender justice, pardon me. If you are interested in working with Allyship to fight for economic and housing justice for queer and trans community, please let us know via email at info@allyship.org, or you can reach out to one of us at Allyship. You can look us up on our webpage, and you can join one of our renter rights committees through the Seattle Queer Renters Rights Committee or the South King County Housing LGBTQ Housing Committee, and then the Senior LGBTQ Housing Committee. So I just want to take a moment and let you know what we're going to talk about. To start off with, we're going to talk about the just cause eviction ordinance and the updates on the eviction moratorium, along with payment plan and how to go about making a plan with your landlord and where you can get support from. And if you want to add anything, Jesse.
Sorry, my button moved. No, that sounds great. Thank you.
Great. No problem. So we're going to start off, like I said, with the renters' rights just cause eviction ordinance, which is sometimes JCEO. We are excited about the just cause eviction ordinance, which has been in place in Seattle since the 1990s, but also now it is in place in throughout the state, so it's statewide law. The just cause eviction ordinance was passed at the state level earlier this year to protect residential tenants from beginning to the end of their tenancy by penalizing unlawful lease provisions and limiting the reasons for eviction. The pandemic and the eviction moratorium played a huge role in getting this bill passed, as so many renters throughout the state were struggling financially, and state legislators were learning about renters' experiences. Just cause eviction ordinance was also something that legislators at the city and county level were working to strengthen for renters. Seattle City Council just passed the ordinance closing a loophole of the just cause eviction ordinance that extends protections to tenants that fix their with fixed term leases, such as 6-month to 12-month leases, rather than only a month-to-month renters. So if you live in the Seattle area, it expands to the 6 and 12-month leases rather than just the month-to-month. which is an update. And since the video that we have made, if you watch one of those on our YouTube, with all the background, please. Oh, I was going to play the video. I'm not going to play the video with information about the just cause eviction ordinance, what it is. If you are a month-to-month renter, there are at least 18 legal reasons why you can be evicted. But they have to use those 18, one of those 18 reasons. Some of those reasons are not consistently paying your rent, or consistently paying your rent late, violating your rental agreement, or if your landlord wants to move into the unit, or if your landlord lies to get you to move out. For example, they're never actually moving into the unit. You can sue them for small claims court of $2,000 damages. And then there's a complete list about the eviction, about those 18 different laws through the Seattle construction inspection renters right handbook. And your landlord must state one of the 18 reasons in writing to notice the termination of your vacancy. And typically it must be sent to you 20 days before the end of your rental period. So if you get it 10 days before your rental period, it's not lawful. If they send it to you and it doesn't say you're always been on time and it states that you were late, you may want to double check all of your records and make sure you always keep written records of everything that you send and everything when you make the payments. And you should be able to pull those up and say, no, look, I've made all these payments on time. And so that they can't just decide they want to evict you without a purpose or a reason. And again, I want to state that in Seattle, this goes for the 6-month and 12-month leases, along with the month-to-month. And statewide, it's month-to-month. Do you have anything to add to that, Jesse?
No, that sounds good, I think.
Wonderful. Normally we'd have a Q&A, but we will just keep recording to our watchers. And if you do have questions and you're watching this video, please send either myself at taylor@allyship.org an email, and we are happy at Allyship to work with you. I know that Q-Law has some additional information. Jesse has some additional information on how to connect if you have questions, concerns, or if that your renter rights have been violated. So the next information is from Q-Law, and Jesse, feel free to let people know what Q-Law is about and what kind of support that you all provide.
Sure. I'm the paralegal and legal services manager here at Q-Law Foundation. We are based in Seattle, but we serve LGBTQ2S+ folks across the state, which sometimes people don't realize. So anywhere in Washington. One of the main things we do is we provide a free legal clinic on the first and third Thursdays of the month in the evening from 7 to 8:30, and that is by phone. So fairly accessible for everyone across the state now. And we have been booked out a bit, but fortunately, we've been able to onboard some new volunteer attorneys and are going to be opening up additional spots starting with October 21st. So that should really help people get in and get some sooner appointments. And we specialize in LGBTQ issues, but we also don't discriminate. So we're open to everyone. And we definitely see a lot of housing issues. You can come to us with, basically any legal issue. We do 30 or 60-minute consults. We don't generally represent people in court, but if you think you might have an issue, and in this case, like an issue with your landlord, an issue with a housemate, issue with a neighbor, worried about eviction or things like that, you definitely can go ahead and make an appointment with our legal clinic to speak to someone. One of the things we also do is we create legal resources for community. So we have like know your rights around the shelter system, around healthcare, around different things like that. And one of the things that I'm working on, and we will be releasing soon, is around housing, including all the latest on renter rights, including all the latest on eviction. Some of the information like Taylor covered, as well as housing discrimination as well, since that's something that our LGBTQ2S+ communities are affected by. So
How does
and I'm
somebody
going to
make
drop some links in the chat real quick. And then
the
yes.
chat? Yeah, the chat won't work for the videos, but
Oh, okay. So that's good to know on the videos. I wasn't sure. So yeah, our website
yeah.
is qlawfoundation.org. There's a bar association for legal professionals in this area who are LGBTQ2S+. And they're the Q Law Association. So sometimes people go to the wrong website. So if you're not at a website that says like make a clinic appointment, you're at the wrong website, but it's Q Law Foundation. And then we also up at the top, we have like education and resources, and that's where our housing guide will be. We'll also put out social media about it when it's out as well. And
Awesome.
we plan to continually update that because laws continually change in housing lately, which has mostly been for the better for renters, which is good. But also any community feedback, if the guide's not meeting your needs or there's some question that isn't really answered in there, we'll link to other resources, but also that's great feedback to have so that I can include that in the next iteration of the guide. And once the guide is out, you might check that first before making a clinic appointment, because maybe it'll answer your questions and you can just get, help yourself using the guide in a few minutes. But yes, also feel free to make an appointment with our clinic.
Great. Thank you so much. That's great information. And we have Q Law on. We will be having the updated information on our website, so that if you are having trouble trying to find their website, or if you have gone to our website first, you can navigate and see Q Law is in there. The next renters' rights law that I want to discuss, that I feel is really important. It's actually not a renter right law. It is around payment plan. So one of the things that have been happening with before the eviction moratorium and just around the end of the eviction moratorium in September. Yeah, it did get extended, and that is exciting news. So it was supposed to end at the end of September. And luckily we have Mayor of Seattle has extended it to the end of the year. I believe it's the end of the year or the end of January. And then additionally, if you live in Burien, it has been extended there. It has also been extended in Auburn. And those are areas that LGBTQ allyship has fought to get some extension. We've been trying to get extended with Kent, and we they were right on the cusp, but they did not extend that. But there are different areas that you can look it up in different areas, your local area, to see if the eviction moratorium has been extended. Most of those are to the end of the year, and then the governor has extended the moratorium. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart, till the end of October. Is that correct, Jesse? Do you remember?
I'll verify.
I believe it is till the end of October. And that is part of the bridge eviction moratorium. And so the bridge is applying for federal, or not federal, applying for rental assistance. And there's different ways that you can apply for rental assistance. And then if you are unsuccessful in that realm, and I would, yes, till the end of October 31st. Thank you for that. The additional suggestion we always make at LAship is that you want to talk with your landlord. If you don't have a great relationship with your landlord, I understand. I never had a great relationship with any of my landlords. But the thing is that they can't deny you a payment plan. So you can go to them and let them know that you want to make a payment plan. And if you can't have that conversation with them, you can also go to King County Dispute Resolution Center, which we will have a link on our website of that too. We already do as in our resource. And you can make an appointment with them and they will do the back and forth conversation so that you can get a payment plan that's reasonable for what you make and what you owe, back pay. You do still have to make your current rental payment, but you can make an adjustment over time of how much you are able to pay for what you owe on the back pay. And you can also be applying for the rental assistance at the same time so that maybe you get a payment plan going with them, and then all of a sudden you get the rental assistance and it gets all paid off. So it's a win-win opportunity. The eviction bridge moratorium, you can go to the website at the governor's bridge proclamation, which is you'll want to go to www.governor.washington.gov, and or just what I usually do, because this is really long, I usually just say bridge program or bridge eviction program, Seattle, Washington, or Washington State. And it will take you to that link and you can apply there and you give them all the information that you need that they ask for. And then it's kind of just a waiting response. You wait and they will put you in some people call it a lottery system. Actually, it just ends up getting pulled up, and your landlord, they will contact you and your landlord about if they need more information. And then the process rolls. King County has been a little bit slower at getting that information out, but they are working on it. Pierce County has been doing a really great job. Olympia has been doing a great job, and Bellingham has been doing a great job. So those areas are getting it out. King County, and then if you are from the east side, the east side of Washington, that is also in the works, and they're getting that out. So we want to let you know that there are opportunities to be applying for the bridge program, and that the eviction moratorium has been extended to get that money out to make sure that people will not be getting evicted. with that being said, is there additional information, Jesse, that you would want to provide around that?
I think that's good for now. We're really working on getting the guide solid and then getting that out to community for info, or like I said, there's resources you're sharing, but additionally, Q laws, legal clinics can be a source as well.
Great. All right, then. I will share one more law that I have found people have asked about. And let me pull that law up because we do have a little bit more time. And I want to be able to make sure that people understand that they have rights around their housing. So give me 1 second. I had it pulled up earlier. And here we are. So relocation assistance ordinance. A lot of people ask me about this around how do you get that and who gets it and why do they get it? And I just want to share, this is a really important law ordinance. And one of the things that I feel people don't know is that there's various different amounts that you can get depending on your situation. And those are some things that I'm not going to get into nitty-gritties about, but why you would get this is because if your landlord told you that they are redeveloping the building that you are living in, or you have to move out, or if there's mold growing in your place of residency, or there's a hole in your ceiling and it's become inhabitable by the Seattle Department of Construction and Inspection, which you can call them and make an appointment. They'll come and take a look and they will deem it uninhabitable. And then the landlord is required to either fix it within a timely fashion, or if it's inhabitable, it may not be fixable, such as if it's an abundance of mold, then you are allowed to request to be given the relocation assistance. And that is relocation assistance is for these issues. And the city of Seattle requires landlords to offer tenants relocation assistance if the tenants must move out and the rental is due to redeveloping or certain code violations, like I said earlier. There are different amounts that you would be paid based on those codes that apply. The different codes are if your building is being torn down or renovated, your building is being converted to a cooperative, or your unit under the city's land use codes is an illegal unit or must be reduced in the number of unrelated tenants living in the house unit, or the unit is vacated and closed due to emergency conditions that are within the control of the landlord. You can be provided relocation assistance. And again, like I said, for those reasons, from $500 to $400 to $4,232, depending on the issue. And it also depends on your income level. If the place you're renting is cited for a code violation, they are being corrected by the landlord. There is no need for the tenant to move. They will not provide a relocation assistance. You may be asked to move out temporarily if, like I said earlier, it's a mold issue or a ceiling needs to be fixed. You may need to move out temporarily and you would be paying still your rent, or they may make a negotiation amount. So those are some of the great information around that on relocation assistance. And what I want to emphasize is I've heard some people say, oh, it's only $500. It depends on the situation and your income level. And if it is a renovation, it can be up to $2,000. So don't just blow that off. Make sure that you look into it. If it's unhabitable living and you've been living in it, you're just staying there because you're afraid that you won't be able to find another place, it would be better for your health to move out if it is inhabitable. And I've been talking with somebody else around this, and have the city of Seattle construction and inspection look at it, and they can pressure the landlord to fix the issue, and or you could move into a better location. All right. So those are two really great laws to know about, and payment plan, and wonderful Q law and some information from them. We will be providing all this information and updates around your renters' rights and access and resources around the assistant rental assistance or King County dispute resolution. And you can always contact Q Law or LGBTQ allyship.
Thank
If
you.
there's nothing, yeah, if there's nothing else that you were thinking about sharing, we
No.
will call this a great video, and I hope that it was helpful for you all that are watching. And again, feel free to reach out to LGBTQ allyship at info@allyship.org, or reach out to QLaw at, and I'm going to have you say it.
QLawFoundation.org. And that has information with how you can make an appointment online. It'll have our housing guide, also a phone number that you can call.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jesse, so much for joining me and making sure that this important information gets out to our community.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.